Hello, and welcome to The Smut Show, a weekly podcast with your internet book bestie, where every week myself and a guest discuss books and mix in a little bit of life, pop culture, and everything in between. So sit back with your favorite beverage and let's chat. Hello, and welcome to The Smut Show. I'm Neely, and that was weird to do on my own. I'm here with my lovely co-hostess with the mostest today, Rachel, and we are here joined by Jaclyn Rodriguez. Jaclyn is a biracial author of Puerto Rican heritage and has been madly in love with fantasy since before she could walk. Forever drawn to magic and the impossible. If there are high stakes and intricate world building, she's in. She adores a strong romantic subplot. The more complicated, the better.
She spends her non-writing time practicing archery. Oh, wait, we have to talk about that. And deconstructing her favorite TV shows and films. She currently lives in Tucson, Arizona with her husband, son, and 2 quirky dogs. She also is a proud member of the LGBT community. A Vow and Vengeance is her debut. And you guys, when I tell you I love this book, I love this book. I can't wait to talk about it. Thanks for being here, Jaclyn.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on the show.
Yeah.
Well, we are so excited to have you.
Yes. I feel like I'm kind of thinking we really haven't had very many romantasy authors on the podcast.
We haven't. I was thinking about that too. I feel like we've had obviously a lot of smut authors, obviously. A lot of just romance authors.
Like contemporary.
We've had definitely more contemporary romance, women's fiction. Sports romance, cowboy romance, man.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't read a good cowboy romance in a minute.
In a while.
I was thinking about that. That might be January. I say January. This is airing in February, mind you.
Yeah. So everybody, hello. Hello, February people.
We are recording this back in time. It is currently December, 3rd? It's December 3rd.
Yes.
And
I feel like at the end of this show, we should make a wild prediction about something that is going to be true in February.
Oh my God, we should.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm actually terrified to do that, by the way.
Well, manifestation and all that.
Like,
what's happening in February? Like the Super Bowl is happening. Like Valentine's
My
Day.
wild prediction is that the Cowboys will be in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Wow. All right. That's a good prediction.
That can't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, like, I'm not going to be disappointed if they're not, because, like, I've been living this life.
Because this is our life.
For 30 plus years. So, like, I'm not going to be upset if they're not in the Super Bowl, but I will be elated if they are. So I feel like I just, either way, I'm just, much like my second child, I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just happy to be here. By the end of the episode, I'll have thought of something. So that'll be on our minds. We'll make a prediction for February. But we're in December now. And we always start with our 1-stars and 5-star moments. Neely, would you like to start us on 1-stars and 5-stars? So everybody listening, this might be some holiday things thrown in, but or maybe
I have a plethora of 1-stars. And I'm going to try to find something that's a 5-star. Okay, so we're recording this, I was about to say Tuesday after Thanksgiving, the Wednesday after
We don't even know what day it is.
I don't know
what month it is. We don't know what day it is.
It is Wednesday, December 3rd. And last Wednesday, my dad went into the hospital. And I wasn't surprised because
he's home now.
He's home now.
Yeah.
I'm going to start it with,
yeah,
he's home now as of recording. He is home. And as of airing, hopefully he's like much better. But he had gotten really sick the Sunday before, which was Charlotte's birthday, because he called me that morning and he's like, hey, I'm super sick. Like, I'm not going to be able to come over today. And I'm like, please don't if you're sick.
Yeah.
And then he was just like getting sicker and sicker. And he went to the hospital on Wednesday because he like could not walk and had like no strength. And so anyways, I don't want to go into too many details because that's his business, but he's home. He's got a long road ahead of recovery, but he is home now. And it kind of was the catalyst for like a lot of things. So like the next day was Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving morning, I went to the hospital for several hours and was there, and then came home. And we had like a pretty chill day because our Thanksgiving was just us this year anyway,
that's
which was
nice.
fine.
Yeah.
It was actually really nice. We had a rat
Mhm.
day as a family, and then
Ugh,
Andrew made
That
steaks
sounds
because we don't like turkey.
lovely. Yeah, that sounds
So
really nice.
we had steak
Same.
and potatoes and mac and cheese. We had like all the normal sides. We just wanted
I
steaks.
love it. Yeah.
And then we watched TV, and it was great. We watched Home Alone, as we do most
As
nights.
you do. Yeah.
And then Friday we were supposed to go to Houston to do Thanksgiving with Andrew's family. And because of my dad's situation, Andrew and the kids actually went to Houston, and I stayed in Dallas. So
Nice. I feel like
Andrew,
we're not for a good reason, but that sounds kind of nice.
I mean, it's funny because like a week before, one of my friends had told me how her husband took their kids to see his parents for 5 days, and she was home alone. And I was like, I need to manifest that. This is not what I intend. This is why when you said
This
we
is
should
why
make
you're
wild
nervous about making
predictions,
a
I'm like,
January prediction.
I'm like, listen, it's like the butterfly. Like, I don't know what kind of power
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah,
okay? I'm
truly-
scared
Yeah.
of what I
Yeah.
wish for and what the
Mhm. Yeah.
disaster to get me to that will be.
Right.
But anyway, Andrew took the kids to Houston, and they had a great time with cousins. I had some serious FOMO, but my sister-in-law was sending me a lot of pictures, and so was
Good.
Andrew.
Yeah.
And then they got back Sunday. And I mean, I was at the hospital a lot. And then but when I was home, it was like really weird. It was the first time in 9 years I've stayed in a house we've lived in alone overnight. I've either had Andrew or one of my kids with me. I haven't been
that would feel
fully
weird.
alone.
Yeah.
So it was really weird and like kind of lonely.
Did you
honestly.
actually sleep?
Like,
Or did you like stay up? Because I feel like
I feel like I'd be like, yeah.
No, I mean, we have we have like a pretty hefty lock on our door.
Nice.
But I do
Okay.
sleep with the TV on if I'm alone.
Yeah.
So I slept with I usually turn it off in the middle of the night, but I like fell asleep with it on.
Yeah.
And I guess like I'm trying to think, what's a 5-star? Well, I guess Charlotte's birthday was a 5-star because we haven't recorded since then. So we had her actual birthday the Sunday before, and Liam was like, Charlotte, you should do a yes day, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Liam, that's you suggesting that.
her yes day things were like really easy. She wanted to get hot chocolate. We were like, cool.
You're like, yes.
Then she wanted to go to a park. Easy.
See, my kids' yes day would be like, we want a cat.
Oh, no.
And that yes day would turn into a yes decade.
And then she wanted to go to Target because she got a Target gift card for her birthday that she wanted to spend, get frozen yogurt. And then she wanted Sonic for dinner, which is so random.
I love that.
So my kids
nice yes day.
That is
Sonic
a nice yes
for
day.
dinner. But her main request on her birthday was that the three of us wake her up singing happy birthday to her that morning. And then call her the queen.
That's so cute and so extra. I love that.
So extra.
And that's Charlotte. She's so cute and extra.
That's cute.
But now she's 6, and I've heard a lot of 6, 7.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
It's just barely crept into my house, but not really. So
and then you have
like
one that's turning from 6 to 7.
Millennial and Gen X and Gen Z and like what each one meant. And I was like, I just can't. I keep up.
No.
And I guess this is Gen Alpha is the 6, 7, right? So.
Yeah.
Have they named them? Is that what their name is?
I think that's what their name is. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's kind of it. I mean, we did take the kids to Disney on Ice, which we'd never done. That was super fun.
Yeah.
But
we've done that before.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. It was like a lot of 1s and 3s. Like it was a very just like
life happens.
We survived.
Yeah. Jaclyn, what about you? Any 1s and 5s from the last week?
Yeah. So my son fell down at school, and unfortunately, when he fell, he knocked out part of his tooth. So, like his front tooth. Yeah.
Was it a permanent tooth or a baby tooth?
It's a permanent tooth. It's his front tooth.
Haven't been there.
Yeah. My husband used to
painful.
ride. Yeah, it was painful. He's such a champ about it. But there was like some like dirt on the concrete, and he was walking and then slipped, and then there was like a low ledge planter, and he just hit his face right on it. And surprisingly, he's done super well. He's very tough about that stuff. If I get hurt, I get like really mad and
yes, yeah.
But no, he's very tough. But we do have to do. We have to go back to the dentist today. We went into an emergency visit then, and then he has to go to the doctor next week. they have to put him under sedation in order to fix it. Part of that is that my son has special needs, so he is disabled. So it's like maybe if he was a neurotypical kid, he might be able to like go through getting it fixed. But
has he been under anesthesia before?
He has, because he's had his tonsils and his adenoids taken out. And so he has been under before, and he did really well. But I was like a ball of stress, so I'm very anxious about it. But I think he'll do okay. And then so that was definitely our 1 star. And then I feel like I have had a lot of like nice little 5 stars, just like little ones of like. Obviously, this will be very dated when the podcast airs, but like Stranger Things came back, and like I saw Wicked 2 and Zootopia.
Can we talk about Stranger Things? Because I feel like enough time.
I love it.
Y'all talk about it. I'm not watching it. I know that'll shock
You're
nobody.
not watching it? Oh,
no. I think people are going to be more shocked that I watched.
No,
but I think people are.
I am surprised you watched it.
That I watched Stranger Things.
Rather than I think it's the 80s nostalgia for me, because I usually get scared pretty easily, but I really love that
I don't like to watch it by myself. Like my husband doesn't watch it, but I make him be in the room while I watch it. I'm like, he watched the first 2 seasons, but I think the sheer amount of time that has passed, he's like, I'm like over it at this point. Like,
it's been around for like 9 years at this point. So
it's actually, so it filmed 10 years ago, the first season.
Oh my gosh.
And
oh my gosh.
Why do I know that, you ask? Because it came out the summer I was pregnant with Liam.
Oh my gosh.
That is when the first season aired. It was summer of 2016.
Our kids are old.
I know my son's 11, so I understand.
So I mean,
right there with you.
I'm really just first of all, the glow up that happened with Will. I was like, I feel dirty talking about it, but I'm like, oh, like you okay. The first 4 episodes were really good. I really liked it.
I love them. Yeah. So we'll see. And then for my tour, we're going to go to, New York City. It'll be my first time in New York, and they have a Stranger Things on Broadway show that I've heard. I had a friend tell me is amazing. She was like, the production value is great. And it has a bunch of backstory.
That's surprising to me.
So we booked our tickets last night. So we're going to go see that, and hopefully that'll be good.
That's so fun.
So, Oh, and my audiobook is done. That's another exciting thing. But I have not gotten to listen to it. It dropped early for certain influencers, but I haven't gotten to listen to it yet. I've been getting text messages. I've had the most FOMO in the world. I'm just like, waiting.
That's crazy to me about traditional publishing.
You know how publishing, publishing is very odd in that way.
Strange. Talk about Stranger Things. Very strange. The publishing industry.
Talk about Stranger Things, yeah.
Okay.
I just have very big FOMO, but obviously by the time this airs, I'll have heard it, and so will a lot of other people.
Dear God, I would have hoped so. That is crazy.
So that's me. What?
Well. Okay, let's see. All of our medical ailments, I think my 1 star is my oldest, is 8, and she has a very high pain tolerance as well. She's also neurodivergent. I wonder if it's I always wonder she and my husband are very similar, and I do you just not feel pain, or do you feel it differently than other people do? I don't know. But she busted her eardrum over Thanksgiving break, and we didn't even realize. So it was Friday, and Friday afternoon, she was like, my ear kind of hurts. And we were like, okay, here's some ibuprofen. She just got really bad allergies anyway. We need to take her to an allergist. So I was like, there's probably just this sinus stuff going on, whatever. Wakes up Saturday morning. She's like, my ear doesn't even hurt anymore. And I look at her and there's fluid and blood draining out of her ear. It's like, dear God, what is that? So come to find out, when your eardrum busts, that can happen, and you just get fluid draining out of your ear. And so we're just keeping an eye on it right now, and she's still draining. I mean, this is 6 days later, still draining. So she's having to walk around with cotton balls in her ear, and I felt really bad for her because no way is that
poor
fun.
Baby.
I know. She was like, will you tell my teacher that I have this so that she doesn't ask about it. She's like, my oldest is my like, don't draw any attention to me, please. Whereas my youngest is like, please, everybody pay attention to me. So, Lainey, she was like, please, like, let her know so that she doesn't ask me about it. But I think that's my 1 star. I feel really bad for her. And I feel like she's just like, I feel like that and as we talked about, we are in the midst of the holiday season, and, the world, I was talking about this in therapy this morning. The world is way more overstimulating in December. And the world is more overstimulating, and people are like getting out of their routines. So like, who knows what's happening at school? And then, you know, like you've got all the like Christmas things and holiday teas and whatever parades and all of the things that it's just like so much. And that's hard for anybody. But especially I've got 2 ADHDers in my household, and it's very difficult for them. I feel like December and May is the other one, that last month of school, just are like rough around the Lewis household. So as much as I like want to figure out like how we can enjoy our time together and enjoy the fun things that we get to do, I think it's a lot of balancing that and like how do we also make sure that we've got tools to handle our overstimulation. So that's my 1 star, I guess. And then my 5 star. What's my 5 star? I have been, I don't really have like a 5 star. I have a lot of 3 stars. It's been a very like chill week. We had a fun Thanksgiving break. We went to the lake. My parents have a lake house close-ish.
I saw you were teasing a future series set.
Eventually, and it's like come 2030, like find me in a long time from now. But yes, I do have like because I'd love to. I feel like you get a lot, like you don't have a lot of like romances that are set in Texas, because Texas honestly is not that romantic. But like
valid.
Like I don't know, like that was why it took circling back to cowboy romance. I feel like it took Neely and I a long time to like ever read a cowboy romance.
I still have never read one, so if you have any recommendations, I would love to hear
we have a recommendation. We have a whole ass episode about
it. We do. We'll send it to you.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that one.
The problem is that like we know real life cowboys and
listen, I'm sure there are cowboys like the cowboys in books. I don't personally know any, and we live in the city, so like there's just not like horses are not aplenty. You know,
we're not in like far out Texas, whatever.
No.
And I like you also have to be careful because like I feel like sometimes they're like the cowboys we know like wear red hats and it's not a good look, not a good look.
That's a no.
So I would love to eventually, it's not it. I would love to eventually write a series based in Texas because there's some really beautiful, beautiful parts of Texas that I think would really be fun to lean into.
For sure.
But I love going out to the lake and so we did that this weekend. It was just a really pretty chill weekend, pretty chill break. So that was nice. We went to Nickel-Rama. Neely, have you ever been to Nickel-Rama?
Like, what is it?
I don't know if this is just like a thing here. I don't really know. But it is so fun.
We've been to, oh my God, y'all, Andrew's trying to get concert tickets for me. And he's like,
I was like, what concert?
You're in the queue. 344,000 people ahead of you.
So a small line.
Small line. He's trying to get me Zach Bryan tickets.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That many people want to go to Zach Bryan?
Apparently.
I guess.
That's a lot.
I mean,
I don't know.
Andrew goes, people are seeing this. I don't even see a number.
Okay.
Lord.
Those are my 1s and 5s. Neely, what is something you are reading, listening, watching? Any of the above?
I need judgment to not happen.
Okay.
Other than Stranger Things, because it's December 3rd. And I would like to note that this documentary came out at midnight last night. I have watched half of one episode. So will I finish it? I don't know. But I started the Netflix documentary that 50 Cent produced about P. Diddy.
Oh, I saw a commercial for that.
It's called like Reckoning. So far, the first half of the first episode is like a little backstory about like we're getting into like the Diddy nitty gritty, if you will. And yes, I meant for that to rhyme.
Yeah.
Like his backstory, like how he became, like how he grew up, like where he grew up, all of that.
Yeah.
I agree with this girl that I saw on TikTok where she's like, I feel like this could be an hour and a half. Like, I don't care about the backstory. And I just don't want to miss anything that like might be important. I really just want to get to the point where, because it's a 4-part documentary and they have some of the jurors on it. And I'm like, I just want to get to that point. Like, I'm only interested in hearing from like I don't care about his backstory. There's not one part of his backstory that is important to me. No. I'm purely watching this for the commentary and because I aspire to be the level of petty that 50 Cent is. I aspire, like, he was literally like, you're going to come at me? Cool. I'm putting a documentary out.
I'll make a documentary.
Like, I'm trying to remember what artist it was, but 50 Cent is so, like, kind of famously petty that like I remember there was an artist that he didn't like and so he bought out the first like 5 rows of his concert and then he just was the only person there and then sat in the front. And I was like, that is a level of petty that I love. Like I was like, wow.
I'm telling you, I want to be 50 Cent level petty in life.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm going to make it through all 4 episodes of this. Like, it's very likely that I'm going to be like, show me the TikTok clips.
Skip to the end.
Just skip me.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I've literally only been watching Christmas adjacent things. I watched The Family Stone yesterday with Charlotte while she was sick. I was telling Rachel about this earlier. I had to pick Charlotte up from school early yesterday because she was tired.
Yeah.
She's in kindergarten, so I'm like, you're not missing anything. But like, anyway, but
she needed a mental health day
after her week-long break. But I put The Family Stone on, and it was like kind of hard to watch.
Yes.
Not just because it's hard to watch anyway, because every member of that family is insufferable, but
I love that movie so much.
I don't know if I love it or hate it. Like, I can't tell.
I've never felt more awkward than watching Sarah Jessica Parker at that dinner table.
The dinner?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it's the worst.
That was very uncomfortable.
Where she makes both a racist, it's like a homophobic and a racist comment.
I was like, are we supposed to like this character? Because I don't.
You can't like her. She's horrible.
Yeah.
But like, to be fair, the only 2 people in that movie that aren't insufferable are the gay deaf brother and his partner. There's not. There's literally no one else in that movie I can stand.
Like, everyone.
The dad I kind of like too.
He's so great.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Andrew and I started The Beast in Me on Netflix,
I just
which
watched
is
that.
with Claire.
It's good.
Oh.
We watched one episode, and I looked at Andrew, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Claire Danes is so hard. I only remembered that because we were talking about The Family Stone, and she's in The Family Stone. Yeah. But she's like hard for me to watch in some of these shows because she plays the same character in every single one. We were Homeland people.
Yeah, and I never watched Homeland, so I think it was, for me, it's fresh.
This is if she was a lesbian in Homeland, it's just kind of like that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, but she's a lesbian, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
The only change.
She's aged. I mean, it's like...
I feel like she hasn't aged. Like, she looks the same to me.
Watch The Family Stone, and then watch The Beast in Me.
Is she a baby? Yeah.
She's
she was on the Today Show the other day, and I was like, she looks the same.
But maybe it's because, like, I haven't looked at a current picture of her, and, like, The Beast in Me, like, I don't know if she's supposed to look more haggard because of her backstory.
Yeah.
But that show, that first episode, I was like, this is very intense.
It's very intense. It's a very
having
intense
just
show.
come off watching that other show that I cannot think of the name of now, but... What's the show that was like really popular a couple weeks ago about the kid that goes missing?
Oh, All Her Fault.
Thank you. We just watched that, and I'm like, I was like, this is why I'm watching Christmas movies.
Yes. Yes.
Too serious, guys. All right.
Jaclyn, do you have a read, watch, or listen that you've loved recently?
I mean, I'm always reading, as you know, I'm sure you guys are too. I'm in the middle of the audiobook for Our Vicious Oaths by Annie Davenport, and it's very, very spicy. So if you do want a romantasy that is like really spicy, like kind of right out the gate, it's very good. And I think it has like one of those taglines that's so good that I'm like, oh, why didn't I come up with this? And you ever hear something so good and you're like, oh, it's so good. And it's it's the enemy of my enemy is my lover. And it's like very, very, very spicy, very well done, very cool. So yeah, I really love that right now. And then like I think a lot of people, I'm watching Heated Rivalry on
I need
HBO.
to figure out how to get HBO back on my TV because
what is this?
It is an adaptation. From
it's
Rachel
an MM
Reed.
hockey romance.
Yes.
And it's very, very
I keep
spicy.
seeing things about it, but I'm like, I don't know what it is, and then I keep forgetting to ask.
It wasn't supposed to air in the United States, so I don't feel like it's shows the power of the romance community, right? Like it wasn't supposed to air in the United States, it was supposed to air only in Canada through their Crave network, and then HBO somehow got involved, but they did not do a lot. They have not done a lot of promo on the like front end of things. I think now people who are not in the romance community are starting to realize.
Did somebody just
like
stumble
really
across it and realize that we have it in the United States and like tell the masses?
No, I think it got like posted that it was also going to be on HBO, and so but
I'm
it's
like,
just
what
like
happened?
I know all the books have like sold out. Like you can't go to a bookstore, Barnes and Noble's, Amazon, anywhere and get the book right now. Like there's kind of
I clearly
the publisher fumbled, HBO fumbled. Like we've like. It's a
pretty big deal. They've only dropped 2 episodes, and I'm not much of a sports romance person. I am. But I was like, this might convert me to it. But
sports romance,
it's very good.
I will tell you, there was a period of time where I don't know if Rachel thought I would read anything else. Like all I read, and this was like 6 months straight, was sports romance, and I was reading like 4 of them a week. Like it was. There's that many out there. There's so many. And
I've just started to like branch from, I feel like, romantasy. So like I've got I know. I read like my first like dark romance that I read was Lights Out and then Caught Up. And so like
I still need just to I'm on yes.
You know.
I haven't done those.
I'm a tiny branch.
I'm a tiny little it's a sprout. It's just a sproutling and
she's a
it's been a lot of fantasy, it's been a lot of romantasy, and now I'm starting to be like, I can explore more romance areas.
Totally.
So like paranormal romance is easier for me, like Interview with the Vampire TV show is like my favorite TV show that exists. Like I've rewatched it like a bajillion times. It's maybe unhealthy at this point, but like it's like
I am not
I need to watch that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Sorry, this is like so off the rails. I saw this TikTok yesterday, as this is where most things sprout from. I see something on TikTok, and then I was like, I need to explore more. And it talked about how the pipeline of 9/11 to 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Well, it was the pipeline of 9/11 to Ellen getting fired. And I was like, okay.
What?
And
interesting.
This is like, there's a lot more to this, but it's essentially like 9/11 happened. These band, I think it was like My Chemical Romance, like wrote songs that were like about 9/11. Twilight was like fan fiction.
It's 50 Shades is fan fiction of Twilight.
Shades.
Yes.
Okay, but Twilight was fan fiction of like this My Chemical Romance song. If I'm screwing this up, listeners, tell me. And then 50 Shades. And then Dakota Johnson went on Ellen.
Oh, yeah.
And Ellen was mean to her.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
This is the rabbit hole that I chose to go down at 9 p.m. last night.
This is something my like ADHD brain would be like, you know what I need to know? It's this whole pipeline right now.
Why did Ellen get fired?
I don't need sleep.
Like,
I need
Ellen get fired to 9/11.
Yeah.
9/11.
Oh my God.
Let's circle back to 200001.
Let's go back in time, people.
Yes. Yes.
For those of you who weren't alive during 9/11 or were
but
babies.
I know.
But right, like I'm like, hold on, someone
Pivotal moment for the rest of us. Yeah.
Anyway, I highly suggest everybody jumps on their little TikTok and writes in pipeline 9/11 to Ellen getting fired, and I'm sure I messed something up, but there's so many videos about it, like hundreds.
So you know who wasn't alive during 9/11? Is now I'm making sure that my timeline's right. Yes, is Robert Irwin, who we've been watching on Dancing with the Stars. And he just turned 22.
Oh, I feel old now. Oh, no.
2 days ago. I know. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, like we grew up with his dad, so they were just little babies. Yeah.
I know. So I was like, when his birthday popped up on my timeline the other day, and I was like, how old is he? And it was like, happy 22nd. I was like, 22nd? Ugh, bless. Okay. I am reading. Well, okay. So I'm watching Selling OC.
Okay.
I don't know why. Because it's mindless.
That's like all those kind of HGTV house shows.
Same. I'm just surprised of all the ones.
So I did Owning Manhattan, and there's only one.
Did you watch
season
Selling
of
Sunset?
That. I watched a Selling Sunset like years ago, whenever it first came on.
Because I haven't Selling Sunset, and it's great.
So I need to go back and watch what I haven't watched of Selling Sunset after I'm done with Selling OC. But it's funny because like Brian is like, he'll make fun of me for it, and then he gets sucked in. So he's like sitting there watching. He's like, what's going to happen? And I'm like, see, it's crazy. And then I am reading Splintered Kingdom, which is Gretchen Powell Fox. It's the second in the Shattered Crown. Haha, you have it. Yes. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, me and Gretchen are going to have she's my conversation partner in Chesapeake Bay. So yeah, it's right there on my desk.
I wish I was closer to Chesapeake Bay. That would be so fun. I loved it. I loved the first one. I'm loving the second one. I love a shadow mommy. Like I am just like really here for that. And we'll talk about this more too when we talk about A Vow and Vengeance, but love like a really unique take on magic. And so I'm having a lot of fun with it. That's what I am reading right now. I'm firmly in my. I'm only reading romantasy right now. I feel like I do that too. Like when I'm writing, I'm drafting, and I don't write. As of right now, I don't write paranormal or romantasy or anything like that. I write contemporary rom-com. So I usually read like way off of that when I'm drafting, not because. Just because I'm like, I need a break. My brain needs a break from.
That makes a lot of sense. And then like, you don't have to worry about anything like accidentally, subconsciously crossing over into what you're writing.
Exactly. Like I'm not about to like ride a dragon in the middle of this like small town in Massachusetts. So I feel fairly confident. Yeah. I feel pretty confident about that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jaclyn, let's dive into our interview. So tell us, we always start off with your villain origin story. And that is really just how you got here today. You can start wherever you want.
I wasn't sure if I should start very far back, but I feel like trauma-wise, it makes sense to mention that, my villain origin story probably started when I was 3 years old and my dad died. So I was like, I don't know how like dark of a sense of humor you guys have, but that's how I deal with my trauma. And that kind of put me on a path of feeling, a little different, getting sucked into books and reading. Fantasy is a great place to escape. Totally. So I've always been really drawn into fantasy and like, reading about fantasy schools and fantasy camps. And, then I started reading about, romantasies and, all kinds of, different things like that and got sucked in. And so, I wrote in fantasy mostly for about 15 years and then just kept not getting an agent. I kept going and querying all these different books and then just never could get an agent, like just could not break through. And finally I was, with A Vow and Vengeance, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make the most marketable thing that I've ever made. If this does not get picked up, then I give up and I will just go, right into self-publishing, which I highly respect. But for me, it's always been a very much like a lack of time. Like, and then, obviously when you get into trad publishing, you realize you still have to put a lot of time
have a lack of
all
time.
of the, marketing and publicity stuff. But yeah, so that kind of, I'd always been mostly fantasy and not the romance part of it. I always had like romance subplots, but not like a main plot. And I was like, let's do like a 50-50 story where I have like a story where I really like the fantasy, but also there's a really strong romance. And so, my like, almost like not spite writing a marketable book, but like really like forcefully being like, it's going to be marketable. And if you guys don't like this, then I don't even know what. And then, I queried that for like, it was from, like early November through like the end of March of, a couple years ago, 2024. And, and then I just ended up getting, I thought it was like it was April Fool's when my agent emailed me to ask for
poor timing,
an interview. And I was like, she was my number one choice. And I was like, is this like a bad joke on me?
Am I being punked?
Am I getting punked right now? That's another nice millennial reference. Am I being punked?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it wasn't. And she loved it. And then basically went on sub right away and then got picked up. And now I'm here. Ruling my villain era.
Here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Truly.
So
I love it.
That's all the pipeline. Yeah.
Well, and that kind of answers, my other question of why romantasy.
Yeah.
But if anything you want to expand on that, I mean, I think the fantasy to romantasy, I mean, obviously, and especially if you're a romance lover anyway.
Yeah, they definitely pair together and stuff really well. I mean, even if you look at like things like Lord of the Rings that aren't typically looked at from a romance perspective, there's always romance in every major fantasy, I feel like most of them. So it was kind of an easy transition. I think I was always just afraid of getting some things wrong. And especially, I know you guys talk about smut because this is the smut show, but like I was very afraid to write my first like open door smut scene. Like I found that very intimidating because like I've read bad ones and been like, so I wanted to get it right.
Next thing you know, you're at the coffee shop writing a blowjob, while people are having Bible study next to you. And like, that's just not an experience I have had.
Not anything personal. That's just like,
that's just general, a weird, like, that's like something that could happen.
That could
to people.
potentially happen.
Yeah.
Or like me where I was like, accidentally reading my own book on my Kindle to make sure that like during edits, and I realized I was at the gym when I came to a very spicy scene, and like this old woman next to me was on the treadmill and like leaned over and started reading what I was reading. And you're like, this is my book and I don't want to explain that. So I'm just gonna walk away.
Or the worst is like as soon as I realized that like I had to be careful with my laptop now because my kids can read, and so I'm like, I can't just leave it open on the counter anymore.
I got one of those like
they
screens,
read my text messages,
so it's like dark when you move over.
Yes.
Do they read your text messages?
I mean, they try.
Yes,
but, like over my shoulder.
Yeah, I'm like, or they'll take a phone and like start going through pictures, and it's not like I have anything crazy on there, but I'm like, it is a rule that we don't go through people's photos. Like that's personal. We don't go through their text messages. But it's also like usually it's like I'm typing their name, and they're like, "What are you saying about me?" I'm like, it's about you. It's not with you. Okay, so step away.
In case y'all are wondering, by the way, these concert tickets for face value are more expensive than the Taylor Swift tickets were.
No. Wow. See, no, this feels like a concert you don't need to go to.
I love concerts.
Will it be an Era's production level though?
I'm feeling like no. I'm feeling like no, it's a man.
No, I don't think anything will be like Era's was.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, by the time this airs, that documentary will have been out. I will have watched that. The new Taylor Swift documentary that's coming.
It. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I plan to do an entire episode dissecting it.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. Great. I can't wait.
We'll have probably already aired.
I didn't get to go to eras. I love Taylor's music. I'm not like a deep dive person. Like if she has a new album, I will listen to it and like really enjoy it. But I'm not.
Well,
I feel left out.
She was my number one artist of the year on Spotify.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every month until November. November took a turn.
Yeah.
No, do you want to know what's crazy about this? It's been 38 months in a row where she was my top artist.
And then Olivia
until
November.
Exceeded her.
I know.
Wow. Another icon, honestly.
But top artist of the year and top album of the year, which is impressive since that album has been out for
it hasn't been out that long.
Yeah.
Month and a half. But
would you guys like to know we're detouring. Would you guys like to know my number one song of 2025?
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Is it from K-pop Demon Hunters?
No, I really thought it was going to be. It is
I'm shocked mine wasn't golden. Shocked.
It's
or
from
your
friend,
idol. I love your idol.
I know. Our friend Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You're welcome.
And it is it is Can I Get a Chi-Hu?
Can I get a Chi-Hu? Is that on the Moana soundtrack? Like the
Moana 2 soundtrack.
Oh, on the Moana 2 soundtrack. So you're in the deep cuts of the
Yes, it's because my 6-year-old is obsessed with that song.
Yeah.
And so we listened to it 41 times this year. I found out today. So
my son likes to listen to stuff
was
on
not a Taylor Swift song though. My top song wasn't it was Sally When the Wine Runs Out by Role Model.
Great song. Yeah.
But I was really surprised. I was like, okay. I mean, I do have very taste, but I listened to that song 52 times. Pretty sure it was more than that.
Yeah. I know. I'm like 41. I don't know.
That seems low.
Tell us about, for anybody who hasn't heard about A Vow and Vengeance, or it'll be out by this point. Yes.
It'll be out for almost a month by the time this airs. Yes.
Beautiful. Anyone who hasn't read it yet, tell us about A Vow and Vengeance.
Sure. I'll just give you the little short kind of pitch.
Yes.
So A Vow and Vengeance is an enemies to lovers. It's an adult romantasy. And it follows Rune Riker, who is on a mission of vengeance, hence the title. And so in Rune's world, every year there is a selection where 100 mortals are chosen by the immortals and taken beyond the wall. No one ever sees or hears from them again. And by the time we catch up with Rune, her entire family has been chosen to be disappeared basically over the wall. And she gets it in her head that she cannot get to them unless she herself is selected. So she kind of organizes her own selection. And when she's taken over the wall, instead of being, brought back with her family, she's entered into this magical academy that is based off of tarot card magic. And in it, everyone is kind of sorted by being chosen by one of the 22 major arcana cards. And the one that chooses Rune is the hardest one to wield, of course. So there's the biggest stakes for learning it, because if you don't learn it, it's like death and enslavement. It's not exactly a happy thing for her if she doesn't get it down. And the only other person that's ever learned it is the aggravating, yet very handsome Prince Draven, who is now her roommate. So that is the short and sweet spiel for A Vow and Vengeance.
I've said this a million times already. I loved this book. I can't wait for the next one. So I'm going to send you my email, and just whenever you're ready, just send it on
send
over.
It away. Yeah.
Yes.
We're in line edits for book 2 right now. So those will be due by the time this airs.
Is this going to be a trilogy?
So it is a duology.
A duology.
Yes.
Even better. I'm like happy about that. I'm like, I just have one more that I had to wait for.
Yes. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like we don't get enough of those in the book world. I feel like I went through a phase where I read a lot of them, and like Megan Quinn had some that I really loved, and then I just don't feel like people do a lot anymore. I feel like it's either like a single book, or it's like 3, 4, 5, 6 book series.
I feel like in a fantasy world too, like you get these fantasies that are like
Why do you think I haven't read
books
ACOTAR?
long.
I'm like, I can't commit to something like
So
that.
long, yes.
And then there's
well,
what
I'm
are these?
thrilled to learn that this is a duology. This makes me very happy.
But yes, and I will say, I just think the world needs more duologies.
Duologies, I agree.
But I also loved the magic system. I really liked the magic system in this. I loved the use of tarot magic. I loved them being in this like school where it's like not an only one bed, but like an only one house situation where it's just the two of them. And I love that. That was so smart. It's such a smart way to force them together.
Force some proximity.
Yes, force some proximity. What I don't think this was in our question, so sorry, I'm throwing this one at you. But what made you land on tarot? Like why tarot magic? And then was that like a big like a lot of research that you had to do?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of research that I had to do for it. So with tarot cards, like when I was drafting A Vow and Vengeance, this was pre Fourth Wing, Arcana Academy, all these things. So I kind of was just looking for something that I felt like was a real world thing, because I used to do a lot of cosplay. I mean, I'm like a deep nerd. Like I would dress up, for like book events or comic book things, films, all that stuff. Like I love dressing up. I think it's super fun. So I wanted something that was like a real world item that was magical feeling, but also something that you could kind of learn along with the character. And I'd seen a lot, like every time you go into any bookshop, they usually have like a tarot card deck, or 10, usually you can get one of like any fandom that you're in. You could get a Stranger Things tarot card deck, I'm sure. You can get any kind that you want. And I was like, I've seen these so many times. And, being millennial, of course, I grew up with The Craft at like a pivotal peak point of my life, of like being in middle school, and
a movie that is not talked about enough.
We love it.
I don't know what this is.
You don't know The Craft? Oh my gosh, yeah. So
you have to understand, because how old are you, Jaclyn?
I'm 38, so yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I'm 41. I'm almost 42.
Yeah.
Rachel is but a child.
Oh,
okay? I'm 34.
Okay, so you're not like
I still think though, like Jaclyn was like on the cusp of being too young for The Craft when it came
for sure.
out.
It was inappropriate for me to watch. 100%.
I should not have been watching it.
Probably not.
I was 13 or 14 when it came out. So I was like prime viewership. And it's essentially about these 4 girls in high school. Imagine like Mean Girls, but they're witches.
Yeah. And they have like elemental magic, and they're like in a Catholic school, so there's like a vibe. It's very cool.
Yeah,
definitely
like
part of my
academia.
And imagine like Nev Campbell has all these scars.
Yeah.
Imagine Nev Campbell is covered in scars. Yeah. And then the magic fixes them, and she's pretty again.
Okay. And they all have like a different magic. It was like the 4 elements, like wind, fire, earth,
water, fire.
It's not super scary.
Neely's
but
like,
for me, it's not.
For 13-year-old me, I was fucking scared. I was like, I'm terrified.
I will say, like, I had a childhood where I was kind of sat in front of whatever was on television, and it didn't matter if it was an adult thing. So like at 3, I was watching Aliens, with Sigourney Weaver, and being like,
I mean,
this is fine.
I saw Pulp Fiction when I was 10.
Okay, so but for me, The Craft wasn't like super scary. I was just like so wanting to be them, and also in love with them. I mean, it is a great cult classic film. I don't know if it holds up, but probably should be able to watch it cheaply somewhere. But they show tarot vaguely in it, and like I guess I just always was like in the back of my mind, I wanted to explore it. So I was like, I want to come up with a magical school, and I want them to have a power that like people can learn alongside with them, because I think that's like the funnest part of a magical school, is feeling like you're learning the magic too.
Yeah.
So weirdly, I just went to my mom, who's like not like a witchy, person at all, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, do you have like a tarot card deck?" And she was like, "Actually, yeah." And she like busted some out of like a drawer, like knew where they were. And so then I started like I got all these.
Of it, I
went to like Barnes and Nobles. They always have like
I feel like I need a deck.
Yeah, they're fun. And like I went to like Barnes and Noble's always has like a bunch of these really big books that are like very beautiful that are like always like $10, and like they had a bunch of them that were tarot card related. So I grabbed a bunch and I was like, I'm going to learn everything about it and figure out how to make this work out. And like I was like I like grew up being like kind of like a teenager when like Percy Jackson came out and stuff, but I always liked the way that they were like separated. Like House Hades would always have like, death and shadow magic, and like House Poseidon had water magic, and I kind of like the way that those were like split up. So I was like, I kind of want something like that, but for adults and make it sexy. So I was like, let's do that. So that's kind of my tarot journey.
Accomplished.
Yeah, it was fun. I got to put in Easter eggs that I feel like a lot of people that are really into tarot are like, oh, I recognize this, or I know this, like I know what you're doing here. And then people that are new to tarot are also able to kind of learn along with it, because like the powers are usually related to what the cards are. So
okay, now I feel like I need to do a reread. Yeah. I got my tarot read for the first time this year.
Okay, how'd that go? Tell us.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun.
That sounds fun.
I really enjoyed it. So I come from an evangelical background.
Okay, yeah.
Not anymore, but so for me, like all of this was very like
taboo, right?
Very taboo, right? And so as a mid-30s woman going to get my tarot read, I was like, I feel like I'm not allowed to do this, but it was such a fun experience. I loved it. I loved there's a woman who I went to who's done tarot for me for like different events, like come and done it for people at the events. And so I had already had a relationship with her, which was great. But it was a lot of fun. But then that happened, and then I read this and I was like, okay, I really have no idea what's going on, but I'm here for it. So I feel like I need to learn more, and then I need to go back and do a reread so that I can find the Easter eggs, because I feel like I missed them. Okay, which of your main characters... I was trying to think of how I think, which of your main characters, I was like, do we want to do side characters too? But no, you can pick anybody from the book. Do you feel like you most identify with?
Well, I feel like that's an easier one for me, because I'm not saying that me and my main character Ruin are like the same person, but I wanted to make sure she was making kind of the same choices that I either would make in the same situation or that I've made in past situations, whether they're the right choice or not, I purposely wrote her to be, she's bisexual, which I am also. And I also wrote her to be like biracial, and like, even though obviously when you have romantasy, it's like not in our world. So I couldn't really put like, she's half Puerto Rican, I couldn't say that. But what I could do was, and anyone that has the book has the map of the book, I could put in the Isle of Riches in it. So it's the exact shape of Puerto Rico. So I was not being at all like, quiet or subtle about it. So I, and the Isle of Riches obviously is just kind of a loose translation for Puerto Rico, Port of Riches. And so, I made her, I made her feel very much like I wanted a character that looked like me and loved like me. To be the main character of the story. Cause a lot, and have like, curly hair. Obviously her hair is white because it's fantasy, but, but have like big curly hair. I just didn't ever grow up. I read so many books, and even like reading up into when like romantasy hit a big boom with ACOTAR, these characters that looked like me have only ever really been kind of like side characters. It's like the best friend. And I'm like, what if the best friend's the main character though?
Right.
Like, what if the, there's a person that looks like me that can lead the charge, and is also kind of, like me, a little salty, little spicy, a little spiteful. Like I would like to see that more in romantasy, and just romance in general. We get a lot of soft women in romance, which there's always obviously a need and space for, but also like there's a lot of things that women should be angry about, rightfully. So why can't we just have like some angry charges too? Like we have plenty to be mad about. So I definitely relate to Rune the most. But I think there's a little bit of me in all the characters, probably even in the villains themselves too, like the worst parts of me, You're a writer, so I'm sure you relate to putting yourself in your characters a little bit.
For sure.
So yeah, I definitely relate to Rune.
I do
think
feel
most.
like it's easier to when there is when there's a lot going on either in the world building or just in the plot in general. I feel like it is a nice familiarity to have a character that you don't have to spend a lot of time dissecting the decisions that they make necessarily, because it's like it's almost a natural, like, well, this is what I would do, and so this is what feels right for this character.
Yeah, or even
so
like,
nice
this is the question I would ask in this situation.
Exactly.
Or like, if, when Draven maybe steps out of line, like, I would not tolerate that. So like, why would she? And I feel like early readers so far have related to that and been very glad for that. I've definitely read some romanticides before where like, I feel like the audience is ahead of the main character, like where you're like, I already know what the end's going to be, get to the conclusion. And you're like yelling at the main character. So I didn't want it to feel quite like that for Rune. I wanted her asking the questions when they came up.
For sure. Okay, so I know you're still working on book 2, so we won't jump ahead of ourselves too much, but what is either a trope or even honestly like a subgenre of romance that you would love to explore, or maybe it's a trope within romantasy that you'd love to explore more? Like, what's something that you would love to dive into?
I'm like I grew up during like the big love triangles of like, like Edward versus Jacob, all that. And now I feel like that subgenre or like that trope has kind of like expanded and grown into Why Choose. I've never done Why Choose, but I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued by it. And I don't know if you guys have any good Why Choose books to recommend, but I'm definitely considering that for future projects. So Why Choose? I think they're a lot of fun.
I love that.
Yeah,
I haven't read many. I've definitely read more than Neely. Neely's read 0.
I haven't. No, I haven't read any.
Yeah.
That's
I'm very intrigued by it. I'm like, okay, I could get behind this.
I totally agree with that. I need to think. I feel like I've seen recently a couple of romanticides that are I choose that are like newer published stuff, and I can't think of what they are off the top of my head, but I feel like I have like this picture of a cover in my head that's like really pretty. Don't you hate when that happens?
I think the Warrior Princess Assassin is supposed to be that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yes.
It's got like a pretty pink cover. Yeah.
Yes. And Bridget, I can't remember her last name.
Kemener?
Somebody that's what it was. Somebody posted a fan cover, I think, of that the other day. And they were like, all I need to tell you is that the boyfriends are also boyfriends. Yeah.
I saw that too, and I was like, I'm interested. Sign me up. Yeah.
Yes.
Or before I was like, oh, I'll get to that book, and now I'm like, that book's moved up the TV.
That book is bumping it up.
Immediately has just stepped up. Yeah. So,
yes.
I'm excited for that. I want to try that.
We were talking about adaptations earlier. When you're thinking about your book, I feel like any author, I mean, maybe you feel differently, but I feel like any author would love to see their book adapted, right? So would you rather have we've had many a discussion over whether a show adaptation or a movie adaptation is better. And I think, it all depends on the source material, but would you rather see A Vow and Vengeance as a show or as maybe a movie series? It'd have to be more than one movie.
Yeah, it would have to be. Yeah. It'd have to be more than one. So I was thinking about this because I love this question because I think about it all the time because I love like the obviously Delulu dream of getting an adaptation, and obviously so much like fantasy. Like there's the Hunger Game films, but then there's also like the Shadow and Bone TV show or like Game of Thrones TV show. And, there's the Lord of the Rings movies and then there's Hobbit movies and, so there's a lot out there. But I know that the chances of getting a movie or a TV deal go down a little bit with fantasy just because of CGI budgets and so forth.
Yeah.
But, Fourth Wing is getting a show on Amazon. Quicksilver is getting an adaptation on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's a show or a movie, but I think I would choose movies only because I feel like when I like comfort watch something, like I don't know what it says about me that I'm like Hunger Games, a comfort watch.
Yes,
but
for sure.
Like I don't know what that says about me.
I don't think that's
Lord of the Rings.
I
Also,
don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's as weird though. Like I feel like a lot of people comfort watch like Lord of the Rings, Hunger Games, things like that.
They have like a certain like when they came out. Even I was like, I feel like this is already nostalgic, even though they're new.
Sure.
They had like some sense of grandiose epicness, and I would worry with a show that the show would either get canceled before it got to finish, which is what happened to Shadow and Bone, which was such a bummer.
Yes.
But also there's the other fear of like, the show decides to go off the rails and have its own ending, or they like I call it the third season curse. I don't know if you guys have experienced this with any of your favorite shows where like you get to the third season and suddenly it feels like there's different writers or things are just not syncing.
A lot of shows really.
A lot of shows seem to hit that. And I don't know if it's something to do contractually with writing where you get a two season deal or something and then they like bring in new writers or they don't know what they're going to do. Like they don't know the end.
I think for a lot of shows
just want to have jobs.
Yeah.
If the first 2 seasons are successful, those writers tend to get offers.
Yes.
And so they go to create their own show or do something else. And so I do think that tends to be what happens.
Yeah, it happened on like Lost, on Heroes, on Sons of Anarchy, on a lot of like really big shows where they're like the first couple seasons are like this is the best
every
thing
Shonda
ever.
Rhimes show. But that's happened on every Shonda Rhimes show. I mean,
interesting.
Grey's Anatomy, for example, has changed writers and showrunners like 20 times.
It has, that has changed a lot.
I feel like the success of a show like Ted Lasso was in the fact that they knew from the beginning that it was going to be 3 seasons.
I think that's super helpful. I think that's why also like Breaking Bad was very good because it also went in saying this is going to be 3 seasons. And it's hard because like actors get consistent work and writers have consistent work and you want to keep pushing it longer, but sometimes the stories really do need to be wrapped up in a short period. And I always respect when they do that. Though I did hear something about Ted Lasso might return. I'm not sure.
I did see that.
I love how
at this point
Apple
with
puts
TV
into
shows,
their shows. Yeah.
At this point with TV shows, like I feel like gone are the days of like if a show doesn't come back the next year, it's never coming back. I feel like now it's like a show can come back
a
million more times.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think we grew up in a time where it was like shows ran from September to May and they had 22 episodes and it was like very serialized. And now with streaming and with just the way things are in that world, it's so different. And a show might not be on for 4 years and then come back, like
suddenly come back.
So it's just
it is
so random.
I do think that I think because we've talked in talking adaptations that a lot of times we love to see a TV show because it means that like especially for like a standalone or a contemporary series because it means that you're going to get the fully fleshed out story.
And I love
but
that
then you
part
have
of it.
Yes, but then you have like the nostalgia of a rom-com, and so hopefully that's what we're getting when we get like people we meet on vacation coming up in movie form, like that kind of thing. But I think you're so right in like the adapting of a duology, especially like knowing that there's gonna be, or even a trilogy like Hunger Games, right? Like knowing you get kind of one movie dedicated to a book and you get to fully flesh a lot of things out, and that wouldn't necessarily fit well within a season of a TV show.
Yeah, you don't want to have like a filler episode where like nothing really happens because they're like, we're gonna have this book needs to be 8 episodes, but really it could have been 6 episodes or something.
Yes.
And I don't know if there's a lot of other instances of it. And obviously Wicked was a book and then it was a Broadway show.
Yeah.
But seeing that have a 1 and 2 part, I think might kind of behoove like more success for duologies being adapted into like a 1 part, 2 part films.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed on
Especially
that.
filming. I mean, I think one of the smartest things that they did with Wicked was filming it all at the same time.
I think that was super
so
smart.
that it was so smart so that
Yeah.
they could get them out so close together when that momentum was still there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. I love that. That's a good answer. So we obviously know that the next book is coming, but
Yes.
how do you decide what you're going to write next? Like, do you have like a note of ideas you want to explore? Like, what does that process look like for you?
So now that, I have like traditional publishing, there's the contractual books that you have set up. For me, that was book 1 and book 2 of this. So I am, doing line edits for the second book. So that's like kind of like, well, I have to do that part. But after that, it's really free and open. So I actually emailed my agent this morning and was like, I have like 3 ideas like for a book. And I feel very passionate about this one. I feel like moderately passionate about this one that maybe more commercial, and then I feel, excited about, maybe spin-off books or, other types of things. But, what do you think I should focus on? So it's nice to have an agent to kind of bounce those ideas off of. But if I didn't have that, I think I would just choose like kind of like what I'm most passionate about. I did have like a pivot moment where I went to Steamy Lit Con, which was in Anaheim over Halloween. It was so much fun. Where I had this idea for like a vampire book, and then I went there and someone had like literally had already written the book. Like they had the same title I was going for. It was like a similar tagline. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pivot. Okay. That's not going to be my next project. Like, it might still be vampires, but it won't be that exact kind of a thing. And I was like, so sometimes you just have to be willing to pivot and change. And, or sometimes, I'm sure you can relate to it where you start a book and you're really excited about it at the start, but it loses steam. So, but I'm an overwriter and over talker. So, nice. I don't usually have a hard time like getting the words out. It's the cutting down and editing later, but so
that's a good problem.
We'll see. I have like, 3 I'm passionate about. So I just kind of threw those to my agent and we'll see what she thinks.
I love that. Well, along those same lines, any advice for aspiring authors?
So, I would say, start with being a reader. Read the genre deeply that you would like to write, especially if you're seeking traditional publishing, which is a difficult road to get onto, especially if you don't know somebody or, you didn't graduate from some prestigious university or something. Like if you're starting at square one, like a lot of us do, start off by just really deeply reading the genre you like and seeing elements in that genre that you relate to, like that speak to you. Like, if you're reading romantasy and you're like, I really like enemies to lovers, then, that's a trope that you can take and put in your pocket for your project. But then, I think that a good thing if you're, especially for trad publishing, because that's the only thing I can really speak to, because that's the path that I chose, making sure that you write something that you love, but like that also holds hands with something that has a market, because when you're giving it to an agent, they need to know what publisher and what editor they're going to give to, so the editor can say, this is where it's going to go on a bookshelf.
Right.
I know that there's, a lot of temptation to be like, I need to write the most like original thing that's ever existed. And it's like, sometimes people do that. And then that book sits in a drawer forever because there's no place to put it when it actually gets to a bookstore. So, read your genre, pick those things that you really love about it. And then just start working on your idea. For me, like, it helps if I treat writing like a job. I mean, now obviously I'm being paid for it, but for a very long time I was not being paid for it. Where I'll like write it down in like my planner and I'll be like, hey, working on chapters 1 and 2 today, and try to make sure I hit that. It's written down. So I feel like, I don't know, more pressure. Cause if I have to erase it or then add on, continue working on it the next day, then I feel
draw
like,
an arrow. Nobody wants to do that.
And then another important thing is to find people that are readers. Like for me, beta readers are really helpful and critique partners. And I think the best way to do that is to find other writers who are writing in your genre, and be willing to trade work back and forth. Like I would start off with somebody and be like, here, I'll give you my first chapter. You give me your first chapter. Let's see if we like each other's critique, feedback, and always be open to feedback, but also trust your gut. Because sometimes you'll get bad feedback. But a lot of times
there's so much about it that's a balancing act, right? Sure. Of like trusting, like even with marketability of a concept, right? Is like how much do you lean into that versus like, making sure that your voice still comes through and that it's still your
exactly. You want it to feel like
take on something.
Yeah. And like, and tropes too are like a big thing that romance leans on, but you can always kind of do your own thing with a trope. Like, like for me with this book, I really like fake dating. Like I grew up with like all of the, fake dating movies and, the 90s rom-coms and stuff. But I also, the fated mates part of romantasy always kind of bothers me in some way. Like I love soulmates, but I don't like the idea of not being able to choose
not having a choice
person. So I was like, what if like they're fake dating and she's just faking being his fated mate, so like no one can question it. So never feel like you can't like do a spin on it. Like you talked about shadow mommies earlier. I think that's something really brilliant that Gretchen Powell Fox has done in that series, is instead of the shadow daddy, it's the shadow mommy. And I think that she's the fae and he's the human. I think that's, don't be afraid to like play with those tropes. I think the only thing that you can't touch in romance is that it has to have a happily ever after, or you will fight a mob with pitchforks.
Or people will be very mad at you.
People will be very mad at you if you mess with that one. But otherwise, you're pretty open.
Yeah. And you can have fun with it. Okay, we always end the podcast on what is a have-to-read book that you are always telling people about?
Oh, that's such a good question.
It doesn't have to be
so
current.
Many.
It could be just like ever.
Yeah, anything that's like stuck with you.
I mean, I will say like, oh man, there's so many good ones. I'm just like looking at my bookshelf.
At your bookshelf.
One that I've read recently and really felt like it sunk in with me was, I felt like The Divine Rivals, even though it's like a YA romance, I really loved that. And Ruthless Vows, I felt like I really loved her writing style, and it was very sweet. And but it was also did something that I haven't seen much of, which is like World War II-esque time, but done fantasy-wise. And I don't think I've seen anyone do that since Guillermo del Toro did Pan's Labyrinth, I think was the last time I saw somebody play with fantasy in that time period. And I thought that was really cool. And even though I usually like really high fantasy with a lot of magic, I really loved that series. So I'm always like, hey, if you want to hear some really beautiful writing, like Divine Rivals is definitely one to pick up.
I need to do that one. Everybody, I feel like anybody who's read it is obsessed with it.
It's very pretty. So. I also really like Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I don't know if you've read that one, but
I haven't. I have it on my shelf. But
it's one of the ones where I'm like I know that this guy's the bad guy, but just ignore the red flags. Because I was like, I like him. I really like him.
It has to happen sometimes.
Yeah, right.
It has to happen. Okay. What we do next is a rapid fire this or that. So we're going to give you two choices. You give us the first answer that comes to your head.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Vampires or aliens?
Oh, vampires. 100%.
It's fair. Why choose or fated mates?
I will say fated mates probably, just because I haven't read that many Why Choose yet.
You're like, I'm not. Ask me again in a year.
Ask me next year. Yeah.
All right. Fantasy with romance or romance with fantasy?
I'd say fantasy with romance. I got to have magic to keep my attention.
Yeah. Okay. This last one is a pick your praise. So good girl or look at me?
I think good girl for sure.
Okay.
Former perfectionist, eldest daughter.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
You are in the right place.
Yeah.
Okay, Jaclyn, pour yourself out. So where can people find you?
Oh, okay. People can find me mostly on Instagram. And so it's just Jaclyn Rodriguez, author, on there. And same for TikTok. I'm not on there as frequently. I also have my website, which is, JaclynRodriguezBooks.com. And so, but mostly I'm on Instagram and I'm pretty active on there. And also open to people that are reading that want to unhingedly slide into my DMs, which I've had a lot of. That's been my favorite reader interactions have happened that way. Yeah. So
for sure.
I'm there.
And you can find the podcast everywhere at Smut Show Podcast. And you can find me everywhere at Rachel_M Lewis.
And you can find me everywhere at Neelykins, except for TikTok, where I'm Neely Moldovan. And Jaclyn, thank you so much for joining us today. We have had the best time talking with you. And
we have. And if you're a Patreon member, we're going to record a little Patreon bonus episode. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.